Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Quantum Consumer Podcast. I'm your host, Brandon. And in seat number 2, we have, of course, Hayes.
Hey, what's going on?
Is this the 70s? We laid back? Seat number 3, we have Walker.
Man?
So I still hate the name of the podcast.
Good. I'm working on it. Seat number 4/5, we have Tyler.
How's it going?
And we have our new host. What do you want us to call you?
Fuck it, just call me Dalton.
Oh my God, I was hoping you would say that. And we have Dalton. Welcome, Dalton. It's great to have you on the podcast.
I will actually call
good to be
you
here.
by Mr. Dalton.
Mr.
Mr. Brandon.
Mr. Dalton.
Mr. Nathan.
We're very professional,
Mr.
this
Nathan.
podcast. Very professional, folks.
yeah.
We have a alcohol review to do. I don't believe we've
No.
done Macallan, and if we have, we're doing
not.
it again. Okay.
We haven't done it.
So
It
this
doesn't. Is that a plastic top or is it a cork?
It's a
this
plastic,
is plastic.
top.
This is their sample. Oh no, it's a cork.
Oh.
Oh, nice pop.
This is the Macallan Highland Single Malt Scott Whiskey, 12 years old, double cask. This is the Macallan Double Cask, 12 years old, reveals the unrivaled commitment to the mastery of wood and spirit, for which the Macallan has been known since its established in 1824. The perfect partnership of the Oloroso sherry, seasoned American and European oak casks, create the delicate and indulgent flavors of American oak, including vanilla, citrus, and butterscotch. Takes center stage, while the more traditional Macallan characteristics of rich fruits, sherry, and ginger provide a reassuringly familiar backdrop. Can you fucking define a run-on sentence? Holy shit, gents.
I like the little coffee cups.
Yes,
They're
with it.
They're like the you find in a little white woman's.
Did you
apartment.
shave into this cup? I found hair.
Sprinkles?
Wait, there's a bat in
But
my soup.
these are like the little ceramic cups I can imagine in a white woman's apartment in the windowsill. She's
So
got
did you read-
shit out of it.
Did you read the front label? That it's a Highland single malt Scotch
Yes.
whiskey.
Highland Single Malt.
What does that mean, Brandon?
Single malt is... So it's not a blend. So it's literally just one batch,
It's from
essentially.
It's from one distillery.
So one distillery. Okay. So the
So-
blends are going to be less expensive. That's why these
Yeah, 'cause you
single
can get it from
malts-
anywhere.
Yeah. These single malts are, of course, going to be more expensive. I think this bottle was around $80 or $90.
Oh my god.
The actual Macallan 12 bottle is more expensive than that, like your standard 750 mil. So yes, let us indulge in
So
some
if
Macallan.
you drink because you're depressed, now you're depressed because you have no money.
Sweet nose.
Why would you tell him
It
that?
has some kind of.
Are you trying to fuck him?
Sweet nose, bro.
Bro, nice
Yeah.
nose.
Nice cup.
Really sweet on the nose.
Nice.
It does have an almost like caramely type
Yeah.
smell to it.
Sort of like caramelizing
butterscotch, maybe?
sugar. Yeah, that might be the butterscotch.
Well, I guess maybe that's where they get the flavor from. Maybe butterscotch is based on the flavor that you might get. Who knows?
Okay.
Yeah,
I
butterscotch
mean, I don't
definitely.
hate it. I don't hate it.
It's a scotch. It's a 12-year scotch. I mean, smoky.
Yeah.
You know, you have your sort of very light campfire. If you were to compare this to like a Lagavulin, it's much less like a campfire. Though it's
Yeah,
very few
get it.
bits
I was
of
kind of
smoke
hoping.
in there.
I was kind of hoping it tastes a little bit more like candy or Swedish, but
I
What
mean,
the?
I
I just want. Hold on,
honestly,
hold on. I want to address this. I want to
I'm
address
about
this
to-
right
go,
now.
Go,
Jesus
go on, buddy.
Christ, what
Let's
is it
tag
gonna
team
be
this
now?
motherfucker.
What
God
the
damn.
actual fuck is wrong with you?
fuck you.
Okay, if you
Oh,
want,
it's whiskey. I want it to taste like candy. You know what whiskey is, motherfucker. What's wrong with you?
if you want a whiskey that's sweet, you're not going to find it in a scotch.
Yeah,
Take your ass over.
Scotch.
he
to
has
fucking
shit tasting.
Crown
He
Royal.
drinks Jameson Orange. He has no idea what real whiskey tastes
Kill
like.
Jameson Orange is good, though.
yourself.
He wants the
Oh my
diabetes.
God.
It is, but it's a flavored whiskey, which means it's
But to-
automatically shit whiskey.
Fuck you.
But to expect sweet, overly sweet
it
flavors
smelled
from,
like it was gonna
from
be
a
sweet.
Scotch is retarded.
no, fuck you. It smelled super
like
sweet.
you get the hints of vanilla in there. There's hints of vanilla.
Definitely get the smoky in it.
Definitely, I would say like a butterscotch type
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
flavor to it. It's not sweet at all, which is good because it's whiskey.
And it's
Okay,
But
whatever,
Scotch.
bro. Whatever, bro.
That's a fucking marvelous. I was actually very pleased when I got this bottle the first
It's
time.
not bad.
It's a great Scotch.
I think I prefer.
a great sipper.
I don't hate it.
I think I prefer Glenmorangie a little bit better.
Yeah.
But
It's a good one. I like 'em.
What'd you guys think?
Yeah, how about seats number 4 and 5?
So you can definitely taste the smokiness in it.
God damn it, Tyler.
not smoky
Speak
enough.
up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying not to kiss Dalton over here.
What do you mean? You
it.
just complimented the man's nose.
What'd you think about it,
Yeah, I
Dalton?
don't mind it. I really like the smell of it. I do like kind of the hint of caramel, and then kind of like Tyler, everybody else said,
kind of the smokiness to it. It's not too overpowering. Yeah, I really like it. I think it was a really good set of whiskey. I don't know what the fuck Hayes is talking about, candy, but yeah, that's.
I mean, so don't get me wrong. In Hayes' defense here, it is very rare for you to come across a flavored whiskey that isn't overtly sweet. Like what comes to mind with me about garbage is Crown Royal.
Yeah.
Crown Royal.
Yeah, I don't like that. No.
Crown Royal is overly sweet. There's no of your
much.
traditional whiskey flavors where you're talking about like bits of smoke, hints of vanilla that are just naturally in the wood and the whiskey itself. So like that Jameson orange that you had discovered, is marvelous because it tastes like orange candy, right?
In whiskey.
Still lends itself to that whiskey flavor and the overall flavor of Jameson, which was a marvelous find. And I believe it was around what, $40 or $30.
It wasn't that much.
Lower proof than your standard, which is I think it was around 35%.
Yeah, and I know Walker doesn't care for flavored whiskeys, but honestly, it wasn't.
I drink whiskey for whiskey flavor. I like whiskey, and it's okay that you don't like whiskey.
But I like whiskey, but I also like this.
You like whiskey flavored drinks.
Kill yourself.
There's a difference. It's like if you go to Starbucks and you order like a shot glass of coffee.
Drinkity.
No, if you order like a shot glass of coffee and the rest of the cup's filled up with milk, you don't really like coffee.
Yeah.
You like coffee flavored milk and sugar drinks, which is fine to
like
like.
my sugar
You can
with
like what
coffee
you're allowed to like, but
and
you don't
cream.
like whiskey. You like whiskey flavored drinks.
On the grounds of alcohol, you know what's the best thing about living in Tennessee during COVID? All the distilleries making this fucking hand sanitizer.
Let's fucking talk about
And
that for a second.
yo.
Okay.
That shit was amazing.
That shit smelt awful.
I don't know. It depends. Actually, the ones where
It
I was,
smelled bad.
It smelled great where I was. It smelled straight up whiskey.
If I'm not mistaken, like the people who are in charge, like the FDA or it was like ATF, I think, actually were starting to get pissy about distilleries making hand sanitizer.
Good, fuck them.
Why?
Because they're not making money out of it.
Why could they be mad about that?
No idea.
Because we can't seize.
I haven't
fucking
done that.
medical
Was just
supply.
that was just a random little bit of a rant there. I have
dude.
no information on that whatsoever.
It might be bullshit, but I buy it.
Super quick though. So I'm on the Facebooks, right? As I am, and that's where I
Watching
kind
poor
of-
quality videos.
That's where
Such
I
a-
kind of find my
Such a millennial way to refer to that
on the Facebooks.
on the Facebook.
Back on the Facebook. I think that's how he says
You gotta announce it in like plural.
my day,
the Snapchats.
on the
and
Snapchats, on the Twitters,
the Instagrams.
on the
Yo, but what
Instagrams,
about
yeah.
the QCP MySpace page?
The-
Has that been updated in a while?
The
I revived it
TikToks.
just to make it and then close it back down.
That's so based.
Give the illusion that we've been here forever. So yeah, I'm on Facebook and everything and seeing a bunch of this, because the biggest focus right now, as far as the left is concerned, is the economy, which they've utterly failed at. Okay, naturally, they are trying to scramble all sorts of semblance of control and ability to do their job properly. And how they're doing that is they're taking to social media and spreading, unironically, misinformation.
Oh, you mean definitions?
So I'm not saying it's misinformation, but there was an interesting thing that just came out this is from Fortune.com.
4chan.
Fortune.
4chan.
Fortune.com?
4chan
Isn't that a porn
500?
site?
Fortune. Your fortune is good, like a fortune cookie.
A 4chan cookie.
So apparently, I'm seeing a lot
It's
of this
just a
shit
cookie you break
of
open as racist slurs.
corporations are making 25% more than last year.
Wow, good for them.
Okay, so 25% more profit than last year. Okay, so this is just corporations wide. Okay, this is not any specific industry, but I want to talk about this. Now, this could be completely legit. Okay, my goal here is not to discredit it. Okay, I want to know why this is a problem.
Oh, it's a problem because
Okay.
no one else is like actually being uplifted by that.
Okay, so this is the thing. Corporations are making 25% more profit than last year. What does that necessarily mean? Because the biggest issues right now that Americans are facing is inflation. Obviously, very big issue. Okay, I think we're at 9.3%. 9.3% or some 9%. That is where we're at right now. Okay,
Like 9.2.
on
I
the
think.
average. Okay. Now, surely, if corporations are able to make profits, a increase of 25% more profit than last year, surely that would mean that more people are buying their products.
No. Remember, some of these corporations have contracts with the government.
Okay.
Right. So that's
How many?
most of like the big ones. Like you don't have to be a defense contractor to get into defense
Right.
contracting.
So like AFI's contract.
right. But also, like, so is like J&J.
However, I don't think that that's really the focus here. I don't think they. I think they're, and if that's the case, then it's kind of retarded how they're saying, "Oh, this is a big problem," even though we're the ones that are technically the responsible ones.
So, like, here's the thing, right? You understand how, like, most of these companies are owned by larger parent organizations, and then themselves have been started to be bought up by bigger corporation or whatever you want to call it. So we could probably say like 70% of these big corporations fall under like one or three roofs.
You look at the auto industry, and that's like everywhere.
It's very or sunglasses.
Procter and whatever the fuck.
Procter and Gamble.
Yeah,
Procter and Gamble.
own like fucking everything in the grocery store. Almost.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm getting at is, if you can get subsidies from the government, kickbacks from the government, or a contract for like city, state, or federal government, you can increase your profits, but you're not adding value to the economy per se.
Right, I spent in the localized sort of like government,
which is also
here.
to say, even though they might be producing a couple jobs,
this is my.
They're
thing.
not increasing
the
actual pay scale of their people.
You have that avenue, okay. You have the whole boohoo tears bullshit of the average S&P 500 CEO.
Tears and crying emoji.
The average S&P 500 CEO makes about $18.3 million a year, but the minimum wage hasn't changed since 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Am I having a stroke? Maybe I'm not sure how this necessarily applies. The federal minimum wage has changed, yes.
No, it's
Not
still
federal.
725.
State,
It's still
state,
7?
State
Okay.
has
State
changed.
has changed.
State has changed.
States have
Okay.
done it differently. Yeah.
Off topic, but I'm about to do something which you won't understand.
Brandon, I have a question for you.
You're
going
making
on
a
this
whiskey
topic.
skin.
Scotch and water.
He likes to talk shit about like mixing drinks, and then he just pours water into whiskey.
Yeah, you
It's
don't
a
understand
thing.
it because you're
It's
not a whiskey connoisseur.
It's a whiskey skin. He's trying to bring out all the oils that are inside
Okay.
of the
Wow,
whiskey.
that's-
You're
He
uncultured.
could have done that with just a drop, but
That's
go
so
off, King.
I did put just a drop in, or as small as I could.
Hey, Brandon,
So-
I have a question for you real quick,
Yeah.
actually. Do you think the impact of a lot of the small businesses that have gone out of business now have been kind of a reason for these big corporations now making more money? Because a lot more people now are like, oh, I can't go shop at my local just mom and pop store. I have to go shop online for something now.
I think you would
Do
have to
mom and
look
pop
at.
stores still exist?
I think you would have to. So that's a great question. I think
Oh,
you would
absolutely.
have to look at. I think you would have to look at the proliferation of mom and pop shops and where they are. What are you aware of any like mom and pop grocery store?
Yeah. There's some in Virginia.
Okay,
there's some in Colorado.
There's some
Some
right?
around
Oh,
here,
rural,
actually.
rural communities. That's all there is.
I think they are completely. They're isolated sort of things.
Like
They're-
in
the amount of
Colorado,
traffic-
there's a lot of like hoo-ha about like resisting new Walmart developments.
Okay, I will
because of
say that the Macallan whiskey is way better with a drop of water in it.
I'd say back
Burst of
home,
flavor there.
back home, Leavenworth, there's a lot of really small businesses, and a lot of them have gone out of business because they haven't been able to move to more of an online approach.
Yeah.
With COVID going around, a lot more people are shopping online now.
Yep.
Obviously, that's why Amazon has really gone up even more. And so I think that's a big thing is a lot of these corporations kind of have a competitive advantage because they have the resources to be able
Yeah.
to just go online
mean-
and sell their product.
Naturally. And my heart was kind of like was dying when I was hearing all these small businesses going under because of shitty government and state policies. You know what killed businesses? It wasn't COVID.
Oh, it was the decision.
It
to
was
shut
the
them all down.
decisions of people put above us. And, these are rules for thee and not for me because, who was it? Who was it? Our favorite person, our favorite Congress critter who said you can't go to hair salons. And where the fuck was she?
Not Pelosi.
Oh, you mean
It was Pelosi.
the demonic
Yes,
fucking
it was
witch that's
Pelosi.
in the
Yes.
House Speaker's?
No, you may not go to the nail salon.
No, Skeletor, you can't have the Second Amendment.
So this is the thing that's happening. COVID didn't kill small businesses.
E-man. Oops.
People who make these laws did, and they didn't even fall on themselves. Okay, who's become richer after COVID? Let's look at that avenue. Who became richer after
Definitely
COVID?
people
I mean,
in the government or in like service
pharmaceutical
sector
companies.
jobs,
Okay, we see
pharmaceuticals.
Pfizer. What did most of the Congress critters do before the vaccine kind of thing, Operation Lightspeed kind of came
Oh,
into effect.
Warp Speed.
Operation Warp Speed. They bought a bunch of Pfizer stocks, Moderna stocks.
that's crazy.
And
How'd
you
that
know,
happen?
And then they still criticize Trump about it.
yeah. So hey, folks, do not be fooled. Okay. Yes, there are people that are 1%, but newsflash: these people who preach about the 1% the most are also the 1%.
Oh, you talking about like AOC with that dress, or was this like, was it Eat the Rich or was it
Yeah.
Attack the Rich?
It's
Or
like,
How
something?
much?
Alright,
How much was that
Give me a
dress?
fucking
How much was
fork
that?
and knife.
So much, and it was to an event that she had to like pay for. It was like super expensive and shit.
Right, but she's one of the good rich.
was-
Yes,
it was-
these
she-
people.
I'm one of the good
These-
rich
these
people.
She was
People-
a good because she was a bartender
These
beforehand. that was
people
it.
I'm
are
a-
so tone deaf.
I'm a bourgeois revolutionary.
These people are so tone deaf that it's ridiculous. Okay,
Dude,
it's ridiculous. So to answer your question,
very stupid.
the small businesses, of course, naturally are at a disadvantage because of the large corporations. That's just the nature of the beast. Okay. For example, like all these idiots on Shark Tank who want to come in with their new fucking makeup product, I think are stupid. And unless the sharks have previous knowledge or they already have a foot in the makeup business, the makeup industry,
Yeah.
it's kind of stupid. Like, I'm not going to go out there and make a fucking lip gloss. Why? Because the market is so oversaturated. Grocery stores, oversaturated. There is such a heavy saturation with those small business kind of things. I mean, granted, I would much sooner go to a mom and pop diner than IHOP or Denny's.
I have a question for you, and this is a hypothetical, and I'm not really sure we're going to land on this. Being that you're for, less government intervention, this is what'll make it interesting. What if Teddy Roosevelt was president, like, next term, right? He was elected, like, out of the grave. He was kicking and breathing and shit. What if he broke up Amazon, Walmart, and yeah, let's just go with those two. How would you feel about that?
Why specifically Teddy Roosevelt?
Trust buster.
So regardless of whoever he's saying is president,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
idea that we're
How would
going
you
to-
feel about trust busting those two
Okay, so
big corporations?
this is an interesting thing.
Like, we're not removing people's jobs. We're not kicking them out on the street.
I understand
Yeah,
what you're saying.
yeah.
So again, this isn't like a
But it's definitely a
newfangled
government-
thing.
it's definitely a
They have
government
done it-
intervention.
They have
Yeah.
done it before.
So you mean like what Florida did to
They have-
Disney? What you're talking about?
They have done.
Ooh.
Didn't
No,
they
he's-
just they
he's
just took
talking
away
about, like,
they just took away a
Standard
tax
Oil.
exemption for the property that
Did
they're
they?
on.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just a tax exemption for whatever reason that
What-
Disney World got.
So
because-
historically, this
yeah.
has happened to certain companies like Standard Oil or U.S. Steel.
This has
because they
happened
had-
to electrical companies. This has happened to
yeah,
the
and the
first
phone
cell
company.
phone
The
company.
Okay,
phone
but
company.
I'm giving specific examples so that he understands what we're talking about. Where essentially the government came in and said, "Well, U.S. Steel or Standard Oil, you own all of the steel or all of the oil, and that is a monopoly and bad for bad
Economy
for
and
innovation."
because we really like capitalism.
Yeah, so basically, we're going to force you to separate into different things like Shell, ExxonMobil, and all this other thing, or all those other things. So basically, that's what he's talking about: is forcing Amazon to break apart into multiple different.
How would you feel about that? Like, hypothetically.
I mean, I understood the premise, but historical context, it's happened before. So this is some sort of thing with a commodity such as electricity, gas. I would consider your phone usage in this modern world a utility and a commodity, and that's why it had to be broken up. Is because everyone was expected to, and especially in our modern life, everyone is expected to use gasoline at some point, electricity. Everyone's expected to use a cell phone at some point. Okay, that is where it's important. I don't think that online merchandise, Amazon,
Well, I said Walmart too. I said Walmart. That was the big one.
I don't think Walmart now.
So,
What about mom and pop chains? though?
Because
so here's the thing: what do you think like a mom and pop online store would be? Because it's going to be like, wow, you have none of the items I want, so I'm not going to use
It
you.
comes in a lot more than
listen,
that. Just
listen to
shipping
this
and
as
all that
well.
shit, too.
Listen to this as well. Mom and pop shops already exist, sure. Okay, we understand that,
And they're in
You-
competition
you
with
just
Amazon.
said you
They're not. They
just-
can sell on
You
Amazon.
just said that it wouldn't just dissolve it; it would just split it into different groups. So like Amazon A, Amazon B,
Yeah,
Amazon
smaller,
C, Amazon D.
smaller.
Also, mom and pop
How
shops.
would that affect
doesn't
the
af-
small
this
business
doesn't
economy
benefit
at all?
anyone.
It doesn't affect
Well,
anybody.
mom and pop shops aren't trying to ship out to the nation. They're trying to serve their community. That's
Yeah.
what they're trying to do.
So
No, it
the
does-
other
it
thing
wouldn't
is that
affect
small
anybody.
businesses are allowed to use
Yeah.
Amazon. Do you think that everything on Amazon is Amazon brand?
No,
You
I
can
understand
sell
it. Yeah,
things
yeah,
on
yeah.
Amazon as a small
So
company.
Amazon does have a bad habit of creating. They actually take people's products and they say, "Oh, we can make that as an Amazon Basic," and so they take the other product off the market and sell their version.
Yeah, that sounds
that's
pretty
disgusting.
scummy. Yeah.
They should probably there should be something about that.
I brought Amazon and
Well,
Walmart together
so
because
there
they're
is something-
similar. But like I meant more like okay, my bad. Maybe just Walmart.
There is something that would stop them from doing that. Did you patent your intellectual property?
Exactly.
If you didn't, well, I'm sorry.
You're SOL, buddy.
Yeah, go
sorry.
fuck yourself.
Well, I was gonna say, kind of a big problem with taking away Amazon. Kind of like you said, there's so many. It's not just Amazon selling their own products. Like I talked to somebody recently. They bought subwoofers from a company that is now with Amazon. The problem with like mom and pop companies selling all over like the nation or the world is they're not as convenient as Amazon. And I think that's the big thing that really put them apart from everybody else during COVID is, hey, these mom and pop stores are closed down because of COVID, but we're still open. We're convenient. We can ship this to you for free if you were to get
let's
Prime.
also agree that there are certainly advantages to being a small business. There's tax advantages and stuff like that. The size and scope of your business has a lot to do with your LLC arrangements and shit like that. So it is a strategy to be a small business, but there's also inherent risk. Just like in any aspect of business, there is inherent risk. If you stay as a small business and you do not expand and open up another storefront, you are at the whims of however the economy is flowing. You might be fucked. And that's what we see. If they close down your only location, you are out of money.
Which again, let's be clear, for better or worse, and I say it's worse. That is government intervention in your business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we can do it to small businesses, we should be allowed to do it to big businesses, especially to bigger businesses.
So this is the thing. The only thing
because I like the little guy more than like Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. The
You know
only
what I
thing
mean?
that would apply to is
Like, I'm
if
biased.
we just shut down Amazon and Walmart.
Well, you also like Amazon also helps support those small businesses
Yeah.
by attaching
I mean,
to them
Amazon-
and shipping to
I
them.
would rather
people-
I would rather all the WalMarts be owned by local people.
So honestly, personally,
How do you think-
Amazon is a amazing avenue for small business owners to get their product
I
out
mean,
there.
technically, wouldn't it be?
And that's what it's used for. They share profit. Like that's how that works.
Don't they technically own it? Like you have people that can franchise a company.
I don't
and
know
they
if
build their
Walmart's-
own, and they
I don't-
actually personally own
I don't
that.
think
I don't
Walmart's
know
a
if Walmart's
franchise.
a franchise.
No, not Walmart. I'm talking about just in general, like big chains like Chick-fil-A and shit.
So like Chick-fil-A, Chili's, Arby's, like
welcome
these
to
are all
Chili's.
franchises.
Specifically with like a store online that's selling you like anything from A to Z, right? If you were to go to what would be a mom and pop shop type thing, so a lot of stores, like small businesses, do have their own website, but it doesn't really fit in with like the idea of I can go on a website, I can search for something, and I know I'm going to get it with no like hassle. And that's like the most important thing about Amazon.
Yeah.
So you can't just be like, I want like a billion different types of Amazon, and they don't have all of the items that I'm looking for.
It's super important, and like you see how the consumer market has changed so much, and people. I feel one of the bigger things that COVID had changed was, I'm sure that Amazon is going to continue to see massive usage.
Oh, definitely.
Because,
I agree.
because it was
Yeah.
pretty much a year-long training session of like, oh, you can just like stay in your house and just get this shit sent to you, like just do that. And I'm not showboating. I would some products, oh fuck yeah, I do that. When I go to the stores, I check on Amazon to see if it's cheaper.
I mean, you had DoorDash. You had
I mean,
also,
especially with the inflation and the way it is, right? You know, I don't blame anyone.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of want to rant real quick. Also, all the fucking parking spaces that got taken up for pickup orders. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So
Fucking Chick-fil-A.
like,
God damn it.
Let's,
Best Buy, like,
let's
everything.
all understand that like forever, like those are never going away.
No,
Like,
they're
that's
here
a-
to stay now.
That's a permanent scar on the world from COVID. Is the fact that parking spots have now been dedicated so that way people can be lazy and sit in their car and have merchandise that was just inside be brought out to them. Okay, that's a real thing now. So yeah, we had that at
That was a thing
McDonald's. We
before.
had that at fast food restaurants.
It wasn't as big.
And now it's here at almost every major store.
That was a thing a while ago. That was my job.
like walking through like
Yeah,
Walmart and
it
picking
was
up shit.
it was around.
A little different though.
It was around, but now
I mean, like
every
the-
single
You
were doing
store
it for
is
their
doing it.
the safety of the consumer.
Yeah, I mean, it's
No,
a
I was
clever-
doing it because I was being paid $7.25 an hour.
Right.
They hear, don't sneeze on our shit. Pick it up in the fucking parking lot.
Yeah, I think personally, the sooner that we're starting to see this now. I mean, we're coming out of COVID slowly but surely, and now
We hope.
monkeypox is a thing.
Monkeypox.
I was gonna say, kind of with what you were saying now, like with how much everything has changed during COVID, people don't even have to go in and actually shop now. They can just put an order down, be like, all right, I want this from Walmart, and have it delivered to them outside in their car. And then same thing with like, I'm trying to think of some of the names of the like sites, but there's places where they can just prep whole meals for you now.
Yeah.
And what's that?
Instacart.
Yeah, Instacart.
Amazon is like able to send you groceries now.
Yeah, it's like I don't feel like
Crazy.
cooking. Instead, I can get 8-9 meals shipped to me a week.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are looking at it like, okay, this is just more convenient now. And that's why a lot of these, like, I mean, a lot of these local businesses, you kind of pointed at it, like they have their own sites, but a lot of them put stuff on Amazon because like that's how they're able to thrive. That's how they're able to still live.
A lot of like the t-shirt companies and shit like that, who the small, t-shirt companies will do that, where they'll just make a fuck ton of shirts, give them to Amazon in a warehouse, and they handle it from there.
It's like the little fishies with a shark.
Super smart. It is super smart. That is how you run a business. That is how you get your product out there, and that's how you let it proliferate. Okay, so it's very smart. And as far as the whole people sitting in cars for shit, it's actually kind of mental. The argument that it is too expensive to get groceries and cook for yourself is fucking stupid. Okay, let me give you a prime example of this. And I hate that argument. You hear this from fat people, okay? It's too expensive to get groceries and cook for myself.
How much are you paying for your meals on a weekly basis?
Oh, what? When he eats just nothing but fucking steak?
Steak's good. Faggot.
Steak is good.
Yeah, I'm so happy for you. I wish I didn't have kids so I can afford to eat steak every night.
Well,
I wish I was you.
I hope you had that
so
time stamp.
here's the thing. It's not like I'm eating like filet mignon every fucking night, right? It's people call them 7 steaks or chuck steaks. It's basically a cross section of a chuck roast. But anyway, I can feed myself for like $30 to $40 a week.
If you don't like my steak and tater diet, fucking kill yourself.
So this is the thing. So let's give you a super simple, tiny little snippet of what I mean. Everyone buys bread from the grocery store, right?
Oh,
It's like $6, right?
I don't buy bread from the grocery store.
So
You make it?
$6, okay, say is like the
I don't eat
standard.
bread.
I would say $6 is the average cost of a loaf of bread. I bought a 20-pound bag of flour
floor.
What do
from
you
the grocery
think
store.
flour is used for?
A 20-pound bag of flour from the grocery store for $10. Okay, I have made around 8 loaves of bread so far, and it's not even halfway gone.
Hell yeah.
Do you have any loaves now?
Yes.
Can we try some?
Yes.
Yeah, it's good actually.
I made a French bread.
We
I
have
made
some
a
right
French
now?
bread loaf. Yeah, we could.
I haven't eaten all day. So
Okay.
Yeah,
let's go
same.
and take our first break. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Quantum Consumer Podcast. Quick little bread break. Yeah, we're diving back in. Walker, why don't you tell us about some things?
You want me to start my okay. Yeah, so basically because I saw a video on it from a large YouTuber that I've been subscribed to for a while, and I had to come up with a topic. We're going to talk about the company called Arka. I believe they're Romanian-based rocket startup type thing. They were trying to get a aerospike, like a linear aerospike, if that makes sense to you guys, if you know what that means. They're trying to get that to fly. And
linear aerospike, that's pretty cool.
I mean, it's stupid, but
If they can do it.
so anyway, they had some issues getting like the high test hydrogen peroxide, so they decided the next cool thing is to market it as a green rocket. So they're trying to make a steam rocket.
Yo, that's pretty cool.
So their booster.
What country do you say this is from?
I think it was Romania. But,
Okay, so they just advanced to the steam age. That's what's happening right now.
But
That's super
they're marketing
based.
it
I
as
love it.
they're marketing it as the steam rocket, but they said they're going to be using because each of the boosters has 10 tons of water in it. Imagine the amount of energy it's going to take to boil that much water. They're essentially going to use what they said was chemical heating. So instead of burning kerosene as with a rocket, they're burning kerosene to boil water to make steam to use it in the rocket.
Fucking retarded.
But at the same time, they've also come up with one. It's called the Eco Rocket Heavy, which has like over 500 of these 10 tons of water booster sections. Asparagus staged, if you know what that means.
It looks like a brick.
Why?
You just looked it up. Yeah, it's over 500 of those things, and then of course the upper stages are still chemical rockets, like standard, like kerosene and liquid oxygen or hydrogen peroxide or something. But
What the fuck? Why?
So wait a minute. Does it releases its energy like throughout a period of time? It doesn't go off all at once.
It is
right?
the same.
so if it goes off all at once, that's called a bomb.
That's called an
not
explosion.
a rocket.
It's the equivalency of Teslas being charged by towed diesel generators.
Exactly. So it's
That's
like
what's happening. That's just that in a rocket form.
I like this.
Just throw an MRE
it's so
heater in
bad.
there.
But
Fuck it.
the thing is that the heavy one, the one that takes like 500 rocket sections to go up, is only gonna. They say it's gonna get 20 tons to orbit.
You're talking about this?
Yeah, I'm talking about that.
Whoa! It's literally just Kerbal Space Program engineering in real life.
It's gonna get,
no!
It's gonna get 20 tons.
Yeah, which is like what the Falcon does,
But
I mean,
with steam.
but with steam, so it's healthy.
It has steam
We're able
support.
to-
It has steam support.
I'm pretty
It's
sure the
fine.
Falcon's able to send 100 tons.
No,
No, what am I thinking of? What is it? The
I don't know. A Saturn V probably.
No, it's something that SpaceX did. Anyway,
Maybe
that's
you're thinking-
fucking stupid.
the green
what?
rocket. Hey, maybe if they. So one of the issues that they have is they haven't been able to like really test fly these things. So they like have working rockets. Like they do work. That is a rocket. It'll go up, right? But they're not allowed to go above a certain flight ceiling, and they have issues where if they go up above a certain flight ceiling, Russia might think that's a tactical ballistic missile.
Maybe
Shoot it
maybe
down, so-
Romania should probably hang up their fucking space program, else they start nuclear
This
war.
isn't a space program. This is a company.
Walker, did you say
because they can.
This
how
is
they're
just a
being-
private company.
Did you say how they're being funded? Did you say that at all?
Oh yeah, they're accepting donations.
So their main way of being funded is by selling crypto tokens.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. They are selling NFTs basically to try to fund their rocket startup. The joke that this YouTuber made, Scott Manley. So if you're into space stuff, you should probably subscribe to him.
Scott Manley.
Yeah, hello, fly safe. Yeah, that thing. So he made a joke about how you may as well just like to heat up the water, just start Bitcoin mining.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Jesus Christ, guys.
This company's big pitch apparently is they will obtain this money by asteroid mining.
Okay.
They want to go up and find asteroids.
Yeah, let's make gold and platinum less valuable. Bring it
not?
home. Bring it home.
Why are you retarded, Hayes? You know what? Shut up.
No,
He was
fuck
born
you.
that way.
Kill yourself.
We have like a tally of how many kill yourselves there's been. I think that's like number 6. I don't know. Oh my God, to break all, why don't you tell us about some things?
Oh, well, going back to what we were talking about earlier, ladies and gentlemen, we are in a recession.
What?
Wait, no. Is that
No,
official?
because
is that
I
an
heard-
official?
They changed the definition. We're
I
no
heard
longer
from
in a
Yeah,
recession.
we're not in a recession.
I heard
it's
from some
fine.
very,
Everything's
very
fine.
trustworthy government officials that actually, recession doesn't mean that the economy is doing bad.
Yeah, that sounds like
In fact, it's just
QAnon
transitory.
conspiracy.
It's just transitory.
Well, I mean, we have officially
The Great
hit
Depression is
2/4
just a
of lower
transitory
G-
period in
GDP.
between
See?
a normal economy and a
It's
normal
just
economy.
transitory, guys. So the inflation that we've never seen like before is transitory. This is not a recession, okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
All of the economists who are saying that are false news, and they are Trump supporters. So
They're just QAnon conspiracy theorists.
Definition terms are just fluid.
yeah, fluid, just like
Economy fluid.
But that's like I saw this.
Why are you making those noises? I don't
YouTuber-
like that.
sorry, it's just rage.
There was a YouTuber
Vocalized.
debate recently. A bunch of very, very hardcore red pill YouTubers. Andrew Tate was one of them. If you haven't heard of him, he's the guy that's fuck women, all that. He gave a whole class on how to program women. Actually, it was wild, like their computers. But they basically were trying to change the meaning of rich. What? And
Oh no!
and they're saying anybody can get rich. Everybody in the U.S. like there's no excuse to get rich. Everybody can. And this YouTuber's like, rich is basically the abundance, having more of than somebody else. And they're like, well, we can all have it. And I'm like, dude, that's not how it works.
Yeah, it's
but
not. No.
if you haven't seen Andrew Tate, he's
When the
very,
average becomes the average,
yeah,
it's no longer special.
average is just
Yeah,
120K.
Syndrome taught us that.
When kids' movies were actually kids' movies, and they taught you valuable life lessons.
Wow, that's crazy, bro.
Mommy says I'm special.
If everyone's super, no one is.
No capes.
What a great line.
No capes.
Yeah. So
That's
so,
you, by the way. If
know
you
what
were a
the
woman,
biggest
you would be
scourge-
Edna Mole.
Edna
You.
Mods.
Yeah, that's you. That's you.
No capes.
No capes.
So this is the thing: is this isn't new. Okay, the left has been changing definitions since time immemorial. Okay, for example, if you ask a Democrat, oh no. So like the terms we switch. So like the Democrats became Republicans, Republicans became Democrats. So the people who were protesting the civil rights movement and stuff like that, no, those are Republicans now because of the party switch. So they changed definitions there. Oh no, man doesn't mean man. It means like you just identify as man, and this is how the world is, and you had to have a really awful human being create the term gender for everyone.
That would be John Money.
So that way he can start doing all this crazy shit, and here we are now where we're starting to trans the kids and all this other shit. So we have to split definitions because realistically the left is failing at every front, whether it's the economy, foreign policy.
Well, okay.
It is
so you're
social
saying,
policy.
So you say failing, right? But it's like they're actually still in control. They're still in power. So like, have they failed? No.
Well, they're making the community feel
They're
like
making
they
everyone's
are.
life worse.
Yes, by the
but, like,
standards.
but,
By the standards, I do not dictate a political party's or political an administration's success based off of whether or not they're still in office.
That's how they see it, though. So like in their like twisted
as far
worldview,
as-
they're in charge.
Thank you, Hayes.
You're welcome.
As far as that's concerned, sure, I guess to them,
Right.
I'm
I'm-
still succeeding because I'm still in
here.
Congress.
Yes.
But me as a civilian,
No.
or a
I'm
citizen,
not saying they're improving anyone's life here. They're
Okay.
fucking everyone up.
thank you again
Yeah.
for that random.
I'm just letting you know
Nothing?
that nothing's okay and it sucks.
thanks.
Speaking of what sucks, just passed the House HB 1808, the ban on assault weapons.
Yay!
Oh, well, let's talk about another fucking definition that was made up and changed.
It
So-
hasn't,
well, this-
passed the Senate yet, though.
No, it's going to get destroyed in the Senate.
I hope
this
so.
bill
You
makes,
hope so.
This bill makes it a crime to knowingly import, sell, manufacture, transfer, or possess a semi-automatic assault weapon, or SAW. They're actually adding acronyms to this. This is actually in it. Or large capacity ammunition feeding device, LCAFD. They're actually fucking doing this. They're trying to ban commonly used weapons in the United States of
So
America.
also, if we remember when this is like before the election, when Biden's website of what he's about came into effect, he would ban assault weapons. What is assault weapon? Literally defined by Biden as anything that can hold over 5 fucking rounds.
So going back into it, basically it does not apply to firearm that is 1, manually operated by a bolt, pump, lever, or slide action, 2, permanently inoperable, 3, an antique, or 4, a rifle or shotgun specifically and identified by make and model.
What part of shall not be infringed do you fuckers not understand?
It's not that they don't understand; it's that they don't care.
Yeah, there is no more reasonable gun control.
No. So again,
There's no more.
they have no intent for this shit to pass. We've already mentioned this in another podcast. They have no shit.
It's already been infringed
They
way
have,
too much.
They have no intention.
All the reasonable
of
gun
this shit
control
to
that could have
pass.
ever happened
They
has
really
already
don't.
happened.
You know what this is about? This is about they know that they are fucked come midterm elections, so they have to campaign on this shit. Look at what we did. Look at what we did. We tried passing this cool bill. It was us and the Republicans, the evil, disgusting bastard Republicans, stopped it. That's why.
just
want to kill
So,
children.
I mean,
so you have to vote for us because, yeah, all these shootings happen all the time, but don't look at the FBI statistic that says millions of lives are saved and crimes are stopped every year by the use of firearms. Not even by the use, the presence of a firearm. Don't mention that. No. Guns bad, evil bad. You have to give us up your rights and your power so we can keep you safe.
Well, they also changed the definition of actual mass shooting so many fucking times.
Oh, yeah.
Like now gang violence is
What-
considered mass shooting. Back in
what's-
1994, they actually changed it from
what-
4 to 5 people considered mass shooting.
What state was it that passed some sort of assault rifle ban? And it was, by the way, they just made like an AR platform ban. If we talk about like actual gun terms that people understand and can relate to, AR platforms were banned in a certain state. I forget which. And then
California,
for
New
the
York,
for the
something like
year
that,
for the year they did the studies and saw, oh well, look, if you see after we banned ARs, the amount of mass shootings went down. And what realistically happened is they changed the previously accepted definition of 4 persons to 6. So yeah, you're gonna see a change in the
You know
fucking
what?
numbers
Fuck
when you
it.
change
I'm
the
just going to
standard.
become a gangbanger, and I'm just going to have weapons illegally, and I'm going to do illegal shit all the time. I'm going to be transracial, and then no one can stop me at a traffic stop. All that shit, you know? Fuck it.
I understand because out of all the weapons, quote unquote, you can use, knives are still the highest result of deaths in the U.S.
Yeah.
And
Autoerotic asphyxiation kills more people than semi-automatic rifles in this
I was
country
gonna say
every
also,
year.
I tell people this too all the time. Like they talk about weapon bans, and they're like, oh yeah, so many people are dying. I was like, what about car wrecks, stuff like that? We should just put a ban on cars.
Yeah.
Then?
You have mandated state government mandated public transportation for everybody.
Alcohol poisoning as well. So many people die from alcohol
Who
poisoning.
needs
The
assault
list
shots?
goes on.
Who needs assault
might be me.
beers?
You know how many robberies and like assaults happen because of weed?
You know, like the leading cause of death in the United States of America is actually like, heart disease. So being
Yeah.
fat will fucking kill
It's
you.
actually medical malpractice.
No, it's the third.
No.
Yeah, we discussed this.
Fake news.
You're just a you're just a retard who hates hospitals and doctors.
Look,
That's
here's the thing.
That's what you are.
Correct.
But here we are being factual, and it's the
It
third.
was-
Fuck your facts.
It was revealed to him in a dream.
and it was
So going back to being
cryptic
fat,
symbolism.
also the House is looking at HR 2814.
What's
They're
that?
trying to repeal the PLCCA,
which is
basically it stops people from suing the gun manufacturers for mass shootings. So McDonald's better put that flag at half mast, 'cause I'm going to sue them for me being fat.
hell yeah, baby.
What is this dystopian nightmare we're living in?
It's called America.
The logic there, and this is, hey folks, listen, they don't care about you. Stop pretending that they care about you. They care about them getting reelected, holding on to power, increasing. I'm not going to be surprised in the next couple of years they vote whether or not to increase their fucking salary
What's funny how
because of inflation.
this vote went through Friday. You know when midterms start? August fucking 2nd. Next week. That's crazy.
Do not be fooled. They do not care about you. Walker, can you give us that little brilliant quote about kids?
They want you dead, kids raped and brainwashed, and they think it's funny.
They don't care about
no,
you.
they do care. They just hate you.
They don't care about you.
They care.
They care about you when you want to vote for them. That's when they only care. And then after the voting season, they stop caring.
No, they care about you and your guns. They care about you and your health care. They care about all that shit.
They
As long as you do it the right
don't
way.
care about you and your family.
No, it's worse than that. They actually care.
I'm going to hit you. I'm going to fucking hit you.
Well, that's like the ongoing war that's been going on for 40 years on games like GTA and just shooting games in general. That a lot of people are saying they're blaming mass shootings now on video games.
Again.
And it kills me because I saw a YouTuber bring up a really good point the other day. Because he was in a debate with it was some politician, I forgot. It was some state representative. And the guy was like, well, video games teach you how to load, shoot guns, and all that. He's like, well, so what if I was to play like Forza? If you don't know what Forza is, it's a racing game, car game. He's like, so what if I was to hop in a car in Forza, drive 200, 300 miles per hour? Does that now mean I can drive a NASCAR? No, obviously not, because it's fucking stupid.
Is the stupidest logic I've ever heard.
Does that mean
Red Dead
GTA?
Redemption taught me how to fish. So
I'll taught you how to
naturally,
be
I'm
a real
very good
American,
fisher.
goddammit.
I'm a very good fisherman.
A crazy stat came out that while video game sales have went up, crime has went down, but youth crime has actually exponentially went down because of video games, and a lot
Because
of gamers
they're
came
indoors
out.
playing games.
Yeah, they've specifically said we'd rather be doing
That's-
this
wow.
than out on the streets.
Wow.
And it's crazy how that works.
Less people, less kids just out on the streets, probably joining gangs, doing bad shit. Crazy.
Simulating that shit online so they don't have to do it in real life. That's crazy.
Yeah,
You know what? I'm angry
GTA
at my mom. I'm gonna go kill a stripper in fucking GTA.
GTA taught me how to beat prostitutes with the fucking golf club and get my money back.
This is the thing. The idea that people, I mean, we've already seen this. Remington had caught some flack. They actually settled in a lawsuit against them because their particular firearm was involved in a shooting. Thus, the people were like, "Oh, I have a great idea. Let me go sue Remington," and they just got settled. One, fuck those people. Honestly, if you use I feel like that's a cash grab. I don't really think it's you giving a shit. You listen to the lawyers who
Honestly,
are like,
fuck Remington for giving up. Fuck Remington for giving up. They're gonna hurt everyone.
You listen to the lawyers who are like, no, we should definitely go sue Remington because those guys are definitely responsible because after all, they made it.
How is that gonna
in
hurt
that case, I got into a car accident.
set
I'm gonna go
precedent.
sue that stupid fucking Toyota Prius. That I'm gonna go sue Toyota who made the Prius, and I'm gonna sue Nissan who made my car.
What do you think a precedent? What precedent does it
There's
set?
more than just legal precedent. It's like, hey, this has happened in the past.
But that's the only one that
before.
matters.
No, it isn't.
If you settle out of court, then that doesn't. No one's admitting wrongdoing.
No.
That's how settlement works.
My favorite
Yeah,
thing
so
about
there's
the
no
situation-
precedent being set.
Yeah.
They weaseled out of setting a precedent by settling out of court.
They wouldn't have lost. No fucking way.
Yeah.
Well, they would have had to pay a lawyer for like
More
several years.
money, yes, but we would have been able to
The
snip
idea-
that shit in the bud.
The idea that, very simple. It could come down to a Supreme Court case. I believe honestly, if like, is it right? Why is it that we feel the need to sue gun manufacturers when literally every other manufacturer of goods that cause far more deaths are exempt?
Because they're trying
Car
to bankrupt,
manufacturers.
They're trying to bankrupt the industry.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Basically, they're
There's
trying to
an
make
attack
it.
on the industry.
They're trying to make firearms more
I mean,
expensive.
we already saw this with Biden's legislation that was passed when they were going after fucking FFLs. You know, if there's a minute clinical error,
Or when they go after individuals, I wouldn't be surprised if there was even the weasel's chance of who was the kid that shot the guy at 40 yards at the mall? Fucking stop the mass shooter. Who was that kid?
Why does his name matter?
Whatever, whoever it was. Okay, if there's even a weasel's chance of like getting him on something like, oh, you didn't pay your parking ticket or some shit like that, they're gonna try to do it and like get him wrapped up in something.
I don't think that that's true. I think
I
that
do.
you're. I think that you're wrong because they haven't tried to charge him with anything. Even like the mall that said no firearms allowed was like, yeah, thank you for stopping the mass shooter.
Sure, they were reasonable, but other people will not be.
What, like the local
DA,
sheriff's department?
like the DA.
I think you're retarded.
what are you getting at? I don't.
What I'm getting at is like, so with
He's
the
just-
Rittenhouse
he's just
thing,
bullshitting.
remember that?
Yeah.
Remember how that was, we understand that was self-defense, okay? They make it as expensive as possible to exercise your rights.
Do you want to know? Interesting take on that. Do you know why this person across the board is being highly revered? Because he killed a white guy.
I see that, yeah.
So
Like flat out, it's true. One guy was trying to hurt somebody,
Right.
hurt people, actively did,
Yeah,
shot and killed him. He was white. Good, all checks out.
yeah, exactly. I couldn't imagine.
Tell me
this
I'm
was
wrong.
anything. No,
'cause
I
this
don't think
shit-
you're wrong at all.
This shit happens all the damn time. We have a New York City subway shooter who was in a train shooting people, who was on social media being vehemently racist the entire time. And we have heard, listeners on the podcast don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. A man went into a New York City subway train, deployed smoke grenades at people in the train, and the media was like, we have no idea about the identity of the figure. Turns out the guy actually goes and turns himself into the police station. We have no idea who this person is. No, you guys do. You guys do. It happens all the time. Go give me a fucking. It happens all the time. I'm so sick and tired of this. It is so blatantly obvious that journalism is dead. It is no longer about the news. These people have only their agenda to push, and the agenda is that only white people do mass shootings, only white people do gun crime, and it is fucking ridiculous.
So I was gonna go into that. So you brought up the journalism and everything. A
Democracy
big thing-
dies in darkness. Fucking New York Times. Shut the fuck up.
A big thing I haven't seen anybody point the finger at this for mass shootings. I blame a lot of it on the mass media. How many times on a shooting like the Uvalde? How many times did you see that on the news? They constantly threw the shooter's face all over social
They
media.
romanticize the fuck out of it.
Yeah, they give this person the attention. I mean, you got to be a sick fuck to do this, but you also are probably seeking some sort of attention. With the news, you'll get that.
That's why it's important to that's why it's kind of a general practice where the name of the shooter is never said.
I don't think that's a general practice.
I mean that as
It's
far
a
as I'm
good
concerned.
practice. I think it's a good practice. I don't think it's done all the
I don't
time.
like giving. I don't like saying the name and giving them credit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
As far as my practice,
I think it's a good practice,
right?
but I don't think it's a general.
But no. However, hey CNN, hey MSNBC. The moment it's a white shooter, his name, his
Everywhere.
fucking birth sign, where he
Yeah.
fucking lives, his family is plastered everywhere. Grow up.
home address.
Look at the kid in Buffalo. Yeah, the whole fucking manifesto. He just wanted attention, and they gave it.
They
to
gave
him.
it to him.
Yeah. He wanted attention, and turns out he was actually crazily
If I'm
liberal.
a YouTuber and I need more subs, do you think like a mass shooting would get me some more subs?
Yeah. So what the news also won't tell you is that Buffalo shooter is within his manifesto is actually incredibly far left leaning, very much a liberal. But no, the precedence is that only crazy Republican alt right people
the guy
do
at the mall,
shootings
the
and
guy
shit.
that the kid popped at 40 yards, right? That guy was a transsexual. You don't dress like that unless you're a fucking tranny. I'm sorry, bro.
Write down the timestamp.
I'm probably gonna leave it in, honestly.
Yeah.
Going back to the whole media side, being Arizonan, Carrie Lake, who's actually running for governor in that state, she ran on Fox News for I don't know how many years. She was a journalist, and she was talking about when she was going through school, they were taught to look at both sides and try and come up with the actual solution to the problem, and they actually air it. And nowadays, that's not what they do. That's why she quit.
No.
Now she's running for the governor.
Look at, and this was in the last Brandon Rants thing. You want to know a actual journalism title for Roe versus Wade being overturned, or you know what it'd be? Roe versus Wade overturned by Supreme Court. Do you know what a liberal leftist writes? Women's rights are attacked as Supreme Court destroys democracy.
I have a future headline for you. Ready? Like far future. Ready? Universe ends. Women most affected.
So this is where we're at. It's all a joke. It is fucking obscene. How about you tie us into your little snippet?
That's about women. Yeah, that's a good tie.
Women.
So this has been a ongoing topic probably since the WNBA's existence. The WNBA is fighting for equal pay.
And this is, remember this podcast, right? Who listens to this? What is the WNBA?
The Women's National Basketball Association. The NBA, the National Basketball Association, which has all men, obviously, they basically added this to create more excitement. And a big thing that's going around right now is Brittany Griner. She's one of the more famous WNBA players. She's been arrested.
What does it mean that I've never heard her name before?
It says a lot about the WNBA.
I only ever heard of her name when she was arrested in Russia for possessing pot.
Here is the most interesting statistic. There's a picture that keeps in the sports world pulling up of a girl named Sue Bird. She's probably the most famous WNBA player. And it compares her career to LeBron James.
Okay.
How many championships they've won, how many seasons they've played, and how much money they're making, of course, because they got to put that in. Big difference, one, is there's 30 teams in the NBA, so it's a lot harder to win. There's only 12 in the WNBA. Also, the big thing that nobody wants to talk about when it comes to money, because they think WNBA players can make the same, is this last year, WNBA made $60 million in revenue. That was their highest year. Mm-hmm. The NBA made $8.3 billion this year in revenue. And that was a low year compared to last year. They made $8.8 billion. And also, the NBA is far in the positive. They're making more money than they're losing. The WNBA ended up losing $70 million, so they ended up negative 10. Actually, negative 20 because the NBA gives them $10 million a year. And so it's interesting to see. And they're also
you have a group of people.
And what do people say? Whose fault is this?
Oh, the men. They blame it on the NBA, the league that is actually supporting them. I don't know how much you watch the NBA. There's a player, Luka Doncic.
Bless you.
He's a pretty famous player. He's one of the up and coming young guys, European guy, and he posted a picture a while back. I want to say it was about a year ago, of him holding a WNBA player's jersey. And basically, the WNBA, this whole team, I think it was the Minnesota Lynx, might be wrong on that, but they basically came out and said, "Oh, you're going to take pictures of our players, but we don't ever see you come to the games. So you're basically attacking the person that's supporting you. And it's interesting. They're
Women
not
moment.
really building
Okay.
a case for themselves.
Okay, so here we go. I'm about to lose my goddamn mind.
Did you hear what Bill Burr said about all this shit? Actually,
Yeah, we
I have
did.
the whole quote on this. It's amazing. He
Go
said,
ahead.
"Look at the WNBA. They have been playing in front of 300 to 400 people for a night for a quarter of a fucking century. Not to mention it's a male-subsidized league. It's like, we gave you the league, and none of you showed up. It's like, where the fuck are all the feminists?
Yeah.
That place should be packed with feminists, face painted, wearing jerseys, going fucking nuts like the guys do.
Yeah.
None of you went to the fucking games. You failed them. Not me. Not men. Women failed the WNBA. Ladies, name your top 5 WNBA players of all time. Let's just name them. Name the teams and the cities. So you can't do it. So you don't give a fuck about them.
Yeah.
So you don't sell any fucking tickets. Nobody's going to women's soccer games. You're playing in 20,000 seat arenas. 1,500 people showed up. That's not a good night. The promoter lost his fucking ass on that gig. Nobody's watching your fucking sport, and you're getting all mad at men for it. And then meanwhile, you look at the Kardashians, they're making fucking billions. You look at those Real Housewife shows, they're making money hand over fist because that's what women are watching. The money listens. They're just drowning these whores in money, purses, and shoes, and the Botox, and it's just raining fucking money. It's
So good.
insane.
So
Let's address something real quick. Okay, so Brittany Griner, okay, we have to fucking discuss her, okay? Brittany Griner went to fucking Russia because, okay, by the way, Brittany Griner's salary is around $200,000, okay?
it's like $224,000.
Okay, so I think
well above
$50,000 short of Nancy Pelosi, a member of Congress of
Incredible.
the government. Okay, how big's her house? Do you think?
Bigger than mine.
I'm just asking. I love that. Damn it, fucking 4,000 square feet of oppression. I'm so sorry, so terrible of us. Listen, okay, the concept alone of Brittany Griner begging and pleading for America's help when she has been very prolific in speaking out against America, where she, this is not her first time going to Russia because she's been doing this because she gets paid so little. $200,000 is so little that she has to go to Russia to play for Russia. Hey, Brittany, do you know what the fuck's going on in the world right now? If you're part of this fucking, left-leaning bullshit and you're like, well, I know that they're currently attacking Ukraine. I know that this is a big deal.
I could stand up for liberal values, but I'm just going to go play for Russia.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, no.
Which
I
one
go
is
play
it?
for
Which
running.
one matters?
Oh, instead of, fighting for and standing, this would be a great time to showboat my moral values and virtue signal by saying, I'm not going to Russia to play because they're doing bad things. No, instead, you fight for money. So you're going to go over there.
You fight for money?
This is not the first time that you've been over to Russia.
I'm balling for
you
money.
don't just forget that you have THC infused fucking vape oil.
You just don't care.
You just don't care. I am thoroughly
What
believing.
a race is supposed to believe that you really did forget and see, black people stupid. Is that what's supposed to happen here?
That's what they assume.
Is that what's going to happen?
I am thoroughly of the opinion that Brittany just thought that she can get away with shit.
Of course she did. She's a superstar.
Because this is not the first time. You don't just forget that shit. She thought she can get away with it.
Not gonna
and
matter.
just tried it.
It's not going to matter. It's not going to
Okay.
matter. I'm
And
a superstar.
having the audacity to beg and plead for America's help when you talk so much shit is appalling.
Hey, remind me. Hey, what did she say? Which NBA player did she say? Like, if so and so was arrested in Russia, America would get him out immediately. Who was it?
She said LeBron James.
She compared herself to LeBron James. Now, I don't know anything about basketball. Explain to me how silly that is.
It's very stupid because LeBron, for one, he's been basically national news since he was 18. He was on Sports Illustrated cover when he was in high school. Basically, is like the next Michael Jordan, and he has never once committed even like a petty crime. Like, they find the dumbest news on this man. Like, oh my god, he put tomatoes in his omelets today. Oh, that's
Crazy.
this stupid shit they do.
And he grew them himself?
Yeah,
No.
Illegal.
And it's strange to me. They were saying that if it was him, he would be back right away. I'm like, well, for one, he would never do that.
He would never take weed into Russia.
And you've been over there for many years now.
Amazing.
Playing.
I just
know
forgot I
the
have
laws.
THC infused oil.
It's like we're in the military. Like, even in the U.S., we get told what places we can and can't go.
Mm-hmm.
Same, even just more so in other countries like Korea. You get told which areas are like
Off
red
limits.
zone. Yeah, off limits. You can't go there.
100%.
Yeah, I assume it's the same thing.
I'm not even at this point. I'm just more or less baffled, and I didn't even mention that on the Brandon Rants episode. We have a current war that the left has been bitching about for so goddamn long. You know, bleeding hearts going out for Ukraine and shit like that.
Yeah.
And here we have a person. You think they tried to blur out the part where it said she went to go play for Russia, and they tried to blur it out, be like, "Oh shit, this looks kind of bad." Just like mid fucking war in Ukraine, and all of us left guys have to be like, "What the fuck, Russia? You can't do that." Oh, Brittany, go right ahead, go play for fucking Russia, because you gotta get that fucking money.
Get that extra money, girl.
That $240,000 is too little.
I'm trying to make it seem like she was on vacation and not playing for Russia.
Even worse, so stupid.
See, it's funny. Before I heard that just now, I thought she was playing against a Russian female team.
Oh,
That's
no,
what I
she's-
was assuming.
Oh,
That's so
no.
amazing. That the lie of omission is so powerful. I
She's
literally
playing
made up.
for them.
You realize how reasonable I was being when I made that assumption, right? Oh, she's an American playing in an American women's team, probably playing against a Russian women's team.
My favorite part about it is like, oh, my
That
rights.
sounds reasonable.
She's like, my rights weren't read to me. It's like, well, you went. To
You
this
don't
specific
have
country.
rights in
You don't
Russia,
have-
stupid. You're not even a Russian citizen.
Maybe this is the turning point. Maybe
This
she's-
isn't America where
maybe
you're
she's
not a citizen, you
hang
get
on,
rights
hold on, hold on.
automatically. It's
Maybe
not
she's
the
gonna be
same.
conservative after this.
I would like to remind everyone that the listeners don't like it when you talk over each other.
Maybe she's gonna be conservative after this. Maybe this is her turning point, where it's like, wow, America is great. They have all these rights.
No, she'll still
Do you
she'll
think
still be
that
an
she'll
ingrate.
learn from her mistakes?
No.
I want you guys to look up right now who we're going to send over there because they're actually going to do a swap.
Oh yeah, a Russian arms dealer that was caught like 8 years ago.
Yeah, and she's gonna be like, oh yeah, this Democratic-led policy, everything's going on right now. Yeah, they're the ones that set me back. She's not gonna vote fucking Republican.
No.
No.
Yeah, an 8-year a Russian arms dealer does not equate to a fucking WNBA player. I am sorry.
I'd rather have the arms dealer in my
You're
country.
gonna spend that 10 years there, okay, Brittany? Okay, you're gonna spend that 10 years there.
I would rather keep the Russian arms dealer than have the basketball player back.
So I have one interesting point to bring up on this. Going back to basically men are at blame for this. So I looked up several sites. Guess what the percentages are of viewers for WNBA games? Take a guess on that.
Is it
There's
above the billion?
male female or
yeah, male to female.
male
gender-wise,
female ratio?
yes.
Okay. I think over 50%.
Yeah.
Are
So
male.
men make up 66% of the viewers
Whoa.
for WNBA games. But yet the women are out here talking about this.
No,
Yeah.
see, no. Here's what you're getting wrong.
Oh, it's
They're
still men's
sexualizing the
fault.
woesmen on screen.
It's still-
So they're doing it because they
so
want to have sex with them.
It doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
But
You're,
most of
you're a bad feminist.
This has also been another problem in the WNBA. I talked to Cox about this actually last week. Was that the WNBA is a very hardcore lesbian league? It's
No
big on-
way.
if you're straight, you basically get bashed. There was a player that she talked about in her rookie year, basically being harassed by her teammates for being straight because she wasn't gay like everybody else. And they not only do they go to the extent of offending men, also the ones that are supporting them, they also do it to women as well. Sue Bird, who I brought up earlier, the one that was compared to LeBron, she had this to say about the women's soccer team. Women's soccer players generally are cute little white girls. Yeah.
I
Way
don't
to
think. I don't,
tie
I don't
race
think.
into everything.
I don't think she meant white in a non-pejorative sense in that time, right?
I
probably meant that in a bad way.
You know what? You know what the solution to this is? Just get rid of the WNBA.
Why do they hate cute people? That's what I want to know.
Just get rid of the WNBA. Just get rid of it.
What's wrong with that?
It's a drain on
Explain
money.
why you're so loved, Hayes.
What's that? What did you say,
Explain why you're so loved.
dude? I'm not.
Just get rid of the WNBA.
We
because
could not
they're a
record the JNN
money sink.
It's
no
not
way.
making money. That's the big problem is it's not making them money, and they have refused to go to anything that makes money. So one thing is if you look up the WNBA basketball size compared to the NBA basketball size, the WNBA size is smaller. And a big thing is a lot of people.
What do you mean by that? I didn't get.
It's a smaller size. Like it's
A smaller arena?
Have you ever seen? No. The basketball shape, like the actual size,
Oh,
is
okay.
smaller.
Okay, got
have
it.
you ever shot with a women's ball and a
I
men's
have
ball?
not. No,
Different size.
I don't know the difference.
And a lot of NBA players have tried to talk to WNBA players about lowering the rim to like 9.5 feet so players can dunk because they don't want to admit this. They're like, oh, why would we do that? But the problem is in most sports, football, a big reason why in football they made it more of an offensive game is because casual fans mostly make up your audience. People that really don't care, they just want to watch the sport. Same with basketball. They're not
It has
really,
to be exciting.
Yeah, they're not there for the stats and like the technique. It's more so, the fun dunks, the big 3-pointers.
Yeah.
Sure,
And
right.
lowering the rim, it would help.
The spectacle. The spectacle is what matters.
And if you want to appeal to more of a fan base, more of the casual fans, lowering the rim would help you. I get that's not what they want to do, but the NBA, when they were in 25 years, they were nowhere near as popular as the WNBA. Back then, it was mostly a white league. There was no black players in the league, and dunking was not allowed. And then when dunking came around in the 70s, it started up somewhat of a revelation. Like, holy crap, these guys are actually like slamming the ball on the rim, like they're going above the rim. This is nuts. And it gained more and more of popularity. And also, NBA players back then weren't just slandering everybody and just trying to demean as many people as possible.
They actually wanted to make their sport better.
Yeah,
or something
they're like,
that.
man, we might want to just not
They just wanted to
say
play the
this
game because
shit."
they enjoyed the fucking game or something like that. That's
Yeah,
wild.
crazy.
All right, y'all. Closing statements.
My final topic is Hitler's watch sold for $1.1 million.
Oh, it's sold? Oh.
Did it really? It did. Yeah. Everyone's so mad about it. They're like,
That's so disgusting.
I mean, like, it's a one of a kind item.
it is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be worth a lot of money.
Who bought it?
It doesn't say it was a private.
That's funny. Good for
buyer.
them.
I have a new favorite quote. It's based off the podcast name by Sheriff Lamb's son, who actually used to serve in the army. He served about 6 years, I believe, about the same age as we are. Fear not, do right.
Nice. Amen. And as always, have a good one.